If you don't mind, bring in all the kids, because we gotta have a talk. Right? We gotta have a little chat. Right now. This is where Uncle Tony does his best work. In understanding how absolutely ridiculous people do ridiculous things and take things completely out of context to fit their fable, right? You're going to find this, kids. No, I'm serious. You got a high schooler, you got a college age, you got a middle school. Bring them in. Uncle Tony's talking. Come in here. Everybody gets a nickel afterwards. A lot of people out there are what we call in the business, it's an old Italian word, they're schmucks. And what happens is that they start talking and they start getting what's called diarrhea of the mouth. Oh, they love to talk and they think they're tough guys. There is nothing more untough in the whole wide world than somebody who thinks they're a tough guy. Oh, you meet a tough guy, like tells you, oh, look at me, I'm a tough guy. You got to know that guy ain't so tough. That guy, no matter what you do it with that guy is going to flip. That guy is going to go right to the police and say, look what this guy over here did. That's what he's going to do. Just trust me on this. That brings us to Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo, who is an anchor on CNN. And he knows this because he keeps telling people he's an anchor on CNN. And he is confronting some guy who decided to call him Fredo. Now, maybe you never heard the expression Fredo. Fredo comes from a movie called The Godfather. And I'm not kidding you. If your father hasn't shown you The Godfather, by the time you're 14 years old, you need to get yourself a new father. Just go and you say, go to Lowe's and be like, I'd like an exchange, please. This guy, he didn't do no good for me. He didn't help me out here. Very simply, he hasn't shown me The Godfather. What am I supposed to do? Be a schmuck for the rest of my life like Chris Cuomo? No. You got to see The Godfather. The Fredo scene is basically this one right here.
Send Fredo off to do this, send Fredo off to do that. Let Fredo take care of some Mickey Mouse nightclub somewhere. Send Fredo to pick somebody up at the airport. I can handle things, I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart, and I want respect.
See, that's Fredo in the movie The Godfather. And Fredo, he ain't a bright guy. He's a dim bulb. That's the way it is. It's just the way it is. And you had Jimmy Caan, you had Sonny, and then you got Michael there, Michael Corleone, right? Al Pacino there on the other side. Fredo, boom, in the middle. You don't even know his name as an actor. It's like, Jimmy Caan, Al Pacino. Who's this guy in the middle? I never saw him before in my life. Well, that's Fredo. And the idea, of course, is that Fredo was dumb. Fredo was not bright. Fredo couldn't take care of the family. Fredo is an expression used when you want to call somebody, stupid. Right? That's what you do. I'm not saying it's nice, but that's what it is. What it isn't is a slur akin to the N-word. Right? It has never, ever once, I'm telling you, ever in the history of ever, been associated with the N-word. Because that ain't nice. Don't be calling people that. That's ridiculous. Just leave that one out of your lexicon. You'll be fine. Chris Cuomo runs into a couple of guys, and he says one of the guys called him Fredo, and is Chris Cuomo from CNN absolutely angry?
I thought that's who you were.
No, punk ass from the right called me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much.
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
and
brother?
And they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's an insult to your people. It's an insult to your people.
Now, first, let me say for the record, it's not an insult to your people. If you're Italian and someone calls you Fredo, it's not an insult to your people. It's an insult to you because they're calling you stupid. That's the difference. It's not about all Italians. That's a ridiculous, nonsensical thing to say. It's embarrassing and shameful. And listen to Chris Cuomo cursing up a storm. My goodness there. You go to church with that mouth? My gosh. He ain't done.
Like the N-word for us. Is that a cool thing?
You're a much more reasonable guy in person.
Now, if you missed it there, he said it's like the N-word for us. No, it's not. It's not like the N-word for you. It's not like the N-word for anybody. And I assume you could ask 4, 5, 6, 9 black guys whether or not it's like the N-word for them, or black women, or black husbands, or black wives, or black anybody. Be like, hey, is Fredo like the N-word? And then see what happens. But do me a favor, make a video of it and put it on YouTube, because I would like to see you get yourself, kicked in the you-know-what. Chris Cuomo continues.
You seem to be on television.
Yeah, but if you want to play, then we'll play. If you've got something you want to say about what I do on television, then say it. But don't fall me.
And hey, listen.
What?
I don't want any problems.
Yeah, you're gonna have a big problem.
And
What's
from
the problem?
here,
You're different on TV. Don't insult me like that.
From here, Chris Cuomo tries to goad these guys into a fight.
I didn't insult you.
Call me Fredo. It's like I call you punk bitch. You like that? You want that to be your nickname?
I didn't call you that.
You called me Fredo. You know my name's now
I
Fredo.
thought your name was.
You did not think my name was Fredo. Don't be a liar. You want to be a man, stand up like a man.
I'm standing up, man.
You want to be a man, I'm here. Then own it. Then own what you said.
Hey,
then own what you said.
He then goes on to say, I'll throw you down the stairs. You see, this is why I wanted you to gather the kids around, because this is a very important moment here. Very, very important moment. You see, kids, in the real world, guys who say you want to throw, guys who say you want to swing, guys who say you want to fight, those are weird guys. Don't ever be one of those guys. If there is some guy who needs to get knocked out, don't give him any warning. Boom, knock him out. Now, I'm not saying you should get into a fight. As a matter of fact, turn the other way. There are multiple times for Chris Cuomo to turn the other way. What are you doing? You're on TV. You're making millions of dollars a year. These guys are schmucks. You know they're schmucks. What are you doing? Move on. No, Chris Cuomo wanted to prove he was a bigger schmuck, and he sits there and he tries to get into a fight with a couple of guys he ain't ever going to seize again. Do yourself a favor. Don't be Chris Cuomo. Don't decide to be insulted by every little thing. Don't decide that things mean things that they don't. Fredo has never meant the N-word and never will. And most importantly, if you got time to say to a guy 3, 4, 5 times, swing at me. You want to go? You want to fight? If you got time for this,
Yeah, you're going to have a problem.
What are you going to do about it?
I'll ruin you. I'll throw you down these stairs like a punk.
Please do.
Why, so you sue?
if you got time for that, you got time to walk away and go meet a girl. So go do that. The first rule of being a good person, don't be Chris Cuomo. I'm Tony Katz.